2024 begins today, and government initiates forest mining law revocation and shun sensationalism in reportage. So that is it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. Emmanuel Biku has joined me here. Good morning to you, Emmanuel. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm well.
Okay, alrighty. So I just finished with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let me move on to the Supreme newspaper. Mankasim Waste plans to generate $750,000 in carbon credits and boost local economy. From there, the publisher newspaper, court stops Agona West MP. Don't hold yourself as independent candidate. We spoke to her over the weekend. She indicated that nobody has served her any injunction to that effect. And so that's it with regard to that issue. But we'll see how that goes. Also, here, Ghana Police Service insists it paid all medical bills of Oliver Bakavoma. Well, this thing is very interesting because the team has equally been responding to the Ghana Police Service, indicating that the Ghana Police Service only responded to it after they took Oliver back to the hospital. Other papers are reporting this morning. This is the Daily Democrat. It says here, over 50,000 former NDC executives campaign for victory and boot for boot. What happened to it? And fear grips Okangman over land guard activities. And Galamsey menace, every Ghanaian should undergo mercury and cyanide testing. And managing editor of the Environmental Guide is saying, at this point, I think I do agree with him, bearing in mind what is being used for mining and how our water bodies are being polluted. Iman, what other papers do you have?
The New Crusading Guide newspaper. Have you done that already?
No, I haven't done the Crusading Guide.
All right. New Crusading Guide newspaper. Court injunct Cynthia Morrison. Like you mentioned, over the weekend, she says she's here to be served. Also, Moody's upgrades Ghana's rating, signals positive outlook, according to the finance minister. And Kufuor Lords Ochehene for his sustained advocacy for safe environment and stop imposing NDC and MPP on Ghanaians. KOD, that is the running mate of Movement for Change, Alan Martin, charges media. These are the lead stories in the New Crusading Guide.
All right, so the Daily Guide newspaper front page, Moody's upgrades Ghana's ratings to positive. Government moves to secure forest reserves, and 2 dead in East Legon car crash. Also, German Business Association honors Nana Akufo-Addo and Lotto operators parry allegations against Sami Ewuku. That's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. I mean, with regard to the Moody's rating, I'm interested in what the response of government will be to it. Bearing in mind that at the time when ratings were tumbling, government had all sorts of narratives or issues with that particular development, indicating that some of these ratings were not credible. But I'm sure they'll be very glad with the latest positive outlook given them by Moody's and many other more. So that's it for the Daily Graphic, a Daily Guide newspaper. I've watched the Daily Graphic already.
All right, the Ghanaian publisher newspaper. Group defends Kwewu Manhene rubbishes extortion claim against him. Also, a Sedun Ketia to Muslims. Vote for NDC for protection. And Moody's rates Ghana's economy high. And Akufo-Addo hails Ochehene's reign. And Samira pushes hard for Baumia in Ashanti region. The second lady, we understand, is in the region campaigning. The stronghold of the governing party campaigning for Mahmoud Bawumia.
I mean, as it is expected. So we just hope that it will just culminate in votes as they all expect when they go to the grounds to go and campaign. Sometimes you see huge crowds following you, both sides, and then in the end, they will show you some small shiggy. So all of them, we wish them the best. Some few more days, and then all this wahala will be over. The Custodian newspaper front page: Baumia will win 2024 polls with majority MPs. That's according to Hassan Tampuli. And Ghana's economy bounces back. Moody's gives positive outlook, and EC keeps trust. Other stories here on the front page. Please vote on December 7th. Coca pleads with SDA members. Well, I don't know what that will lead to. I'm sure there will be some who will by all means vote, and there will be a good number to that vote largely stay with the faith and not vote and not exercise their franchise. So that will be that's it for the Custodian newspaper.
All right, the Daily Democrat newspaper. Over 50,000 former NDC executives campaigned for victory, comes with their photograph. Also, fear grips Okamman over land guard activities, and Galamsey menace. Every Ghanaian should undergo mercury and cyanide testing, according to managing editor for Environmental Guide.
All right, now to the Chronicle newspaper front page. Ghana's economy looks positive, according to Moody's, and it's interesting. I'm impressed with how all the papers are reporting it. Then again, I just cast my mind back to when governments had all the issues with the ratings they were getting. But then, if that's what it is, that's what it's going to be. Ochihene celebrates 25 years of installment in grand style. A vote for Alan is a vote for victory. That's according to Boniface. And STEM Innovation 2024 begins today. And let me see if I'll see the quotation. The quotation here is Deuteronomy 20, verse 4. For the Lord your God is he who goes with you to light for you against your enemies, to give you the victory. All right, so I'll take that again. Deuteronomy 20, verse 4. For the Lord your God is he who goes with you to light for you against your enemies, to give you victory. That's it for the Chronicle newspaper.
I think the last one, Daily Dispatch, have you done that?
No.
All right, so Daily Dispatch newspaper. I would like President Mahama and Bawumia to reflect on their meetings with Pope Francis, according to Cardinal Texan. Also, we had doubts about Agenda 111, but you've proved us wrong. Domahene to Bawumia, and the Citizens app will provide revenue, will improve revenue collection and transform Ghana, according to board chair of GRA, Joe Gatti.
All right, the Ghanaian Times newspaper front page: 8 killed, others injured in 2 separate gruesome road accidents. And like I did say earlier, I am not over this traumatic incident over the weekend, especially the East Legon incident. Heartbreaking. And it looks as though in our side of the world or over here, road accidents are like is business as usual for many people, but it definitely cannot be business as usual. You cannot be losing, precious lives in such a manner. Sometimes in areas you least expect a road crash to happen, like in this East Legon area, for instance. This is a residential area. There is a speed limit people are expected to adhere to, but then there goes somebody who is on the Formula One race and put some other people in danger. It's very, very heartbreaking, and may the law take its course, because it's unacceptable. Other stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper: Moody's upgrades Ghana's credit rating. Says the country's outlook is positive. President praises Ochihene for championing environmental conservation. Really? Has he been promoting environmental? In what way? I don't know. I guess I'm not there, so I wouldn't know. Parliament reconvenes tomorrow, yes, and there's a huge debate in relation to that because the minority has indicated that they will be the majority when Parliament resumes. I hope we do not have another eve of, is it 2017? No, no, no. It will be the 2021 Parliament when Alban Bagbin was elected, or when they were deciding who exactly will be on the majority side and all the back and forth. Let's see how that plays out. They are citing the previous decision by the then Speaker, Professor Michael Kwe, when he declared the Fomena seat vacant because Andrew Isiama decided to go to run as an independent candidate. So they say they are going to invoke that. But then again, there are other lawyers, for instance, like Kweku Azar, who are opposed to that particular decision and are asking that they do not go that way. All right, that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Other stories here. There's a Daily Searchlight newspaper, but you have the Today newspaper. What does it say?
All right, so today newspaper, Indom hits campaign trail for PPP candidates with Yersisim slogan, asks Ghanaians to vote for PPP parliamentary candidates. And Kwewu youth angry, demand action against Paramount chief over alleged extortion. And Ashidia kills 7. Yeah.
All right, the Daily Searchlight newspaper front page, ADB board chairman resigns following expose. Jospon Group to help Ugandan government tackle waste management challenges. And that is it for the, which paper is this? The Daily Searchlight newspaper. There's a Ghanaian Observer. What does the Ghanaian Observer say, Biko? Okay. The Ghanaian Observer here says Moody's gives Ghana positive outlook. Rising admissions at Ghana School of Law. Bright future for young lawyers. There's a story attributed to who? It doesn't say. NDC has lost grip on economic issues. Retain NPP. That's according to Amin Adam, who is a Minister of Finance and also a Member of Parliament. Major developments in Banda have been through NPP. Omahini says so, and then ADB board chairman resigns. That's it for the Ghanaian Observer news.
All right, Daily Post is the next one I have. It NPP sheds blood at Ayawaso North as tax shoot and injure NDC bikers. Also, only NDC can face Ghana's broken economy. Mahama. It is witchcraft to oppose progress. It is clear Napo is possessed. Dr. Franklin Omwakohene responds to Napo's remarks.
All right, the Republic newspaper front page, economy back on track as Moody's revises outlook from stable to positive, and 4 killed in crash. In car crash. Okay, so the figures have been conflicting. At a certain point they said 4, at a certain point they said 3, at a certain point they said 2. So as of now, I'm sincerely very confused as to the number of people that perished in that East Legon accident. Whether it's 2, whether it's 4, whether it's 3, I don't know exactly what it is. Other stories here, Cynthia Morrison knocked out as court blocks independent ambition. That's it for the Republic newspaper. Other stories here. The Finder newspaper, front page. Ghana's economic outlook positive, declares Moody's in latest ratings, and take advantage of complaints resolution mechanism. That's according to the Bank of Ghana. And food prices could drop by 50%. Could drop by 50%. When will it happen? We don't want to work with coulda, shoulda, woulda. When will that drop, Mr. Minister? That's what we want to know. The Metro Lens newspaper. The Metro Lens newspaper, front page. Your advocacy on safe environment has paid off. President Wachihene. And Moody's upgrades Ghana's ratings signals positive outlook. And stop imposing NDC and MPP on Ghanaians. Okay, the final paper I have here. I hope it is the final one because I've been on and on and on. The news center, it says here that we paid Oliver Baka Vomawa's hospital bills. Well, the team is disputing that. They said you only issued a statement after you took the guy back to the hospital. You know, Ghana Police Service, sometimes you can be some style. So, road crashes kills kill 1,817 people in 9 months, an increase of 8.35%. And Moody's upgrades Ghana's. Hey, see the way, Charlie. Anyway, Moody's upgrades Ghana's credit ratings, and COCA urges SDHH members to vote on December 7th. Republic Bank unveils lowest mortgage interest rate. There is also the Inquisitor newspaper. Do you have that in physical copy? Okay. Do you have it there? Inquisitor newspaper. Have you opened it? Okay. The Inquisitor newspaper. Big trouble. Kweuman Hene faces dismissment over ADB loan scandal. Napo leads girl education crusade. No luxury of trial and error anymore is attributed to John Dramani Mahama. And former NDC executives poised for victory. And they say coming up, okay, that's the Inquisitor. They say coming up, details of thick dirt among board and management members of ADB. The Daily Analyst. Have you by chance opened it there? The Daily Analyst newspaper? No. Okay. ADB board chair resigns, and Moody's upgrades Ghana's rates. I think I'm actually losing breath reading the same story.
Yeah. Did he resign or he was sacked? The ADB board chair.
Well, that's what Daily Analyst is saying, but we know that he was asked to resign.
Yeah.
All major development projects in Banda have been through the NPP. Omahene says so. And halt mining in forest reserves now. No extortion took place. That's according to Kweus. They are defending the Kweumanhene. They say he's innocent.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I've seen another circular where the indigenes have assured that they will pay the money. Yeah, they say they will pay the money.
Can only wish them
and then
well.
take action against their chief.
We can only wish them. We should have put the problem before them that he was having challenges paying. They don't pay, they will not get to this point.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
A problem shared is a problem,
solved. Yeah. Nana could have handled this better, way better.
Yeah. Because did you do the Informer newspaper?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I guess that should be it. What about the Herald? No? Do you have the Herald with
you? The Herald,
yes, go ahead with what the
Herald
Herald said.
UNESCO video reveals Napo as promoting homosexuality in Ghanaian schools. National security orders immediate removal of Boko police boss. Highlights of NDC and MPP manifestos on energy. And Baumia promises district agric mechanization hubs. When I tell you that, the only difference between the MPP and NDC will be John Mahama and then Baumia. As in the individuals.
As in their policies are almost the same.
Because I remember the straight mechanization, remember, that they buy tractors, keep themselves where any farmer could go and then access the services and what have you.
The same as
Oh gosh. So John Mahama pledges economic revival at WA, and that is it for the Herald this morning. Yeah.
All right. The New Trust newspaper. Encourage your members to go and vote on Saturday, December 7th. Coca begs SDA leadership. Galam say, can they do early voting for them?
Early voting,
SDA,
yeah.
so
it
that
had
they'll do
come
Friday.
out, but once they didn't apply, the early voting application period is over. Yeah.
But it's been happening over and over again. So I think it's something we should have probably explored earlier.
Yeah, I think
There should have been a deliberate target at them beyond, because it was mentioned at least for early or special voting. What we know is that the people who will be on duty on December 7th, like journalists and all that,
and they'll be on duty for God.
So basically, they should have.
But you know why I would disagree with you?
Why?
Or I think the EC's thought process was informed by the fact that we could be opening up a Pandora's box, right?
So Sunday,
it falls on, especially falls on Friday, and I, for instance, will lead an advocacy that allow us to vote early as Muslims, right? And then the Baha'i people will say that, no, we. You see, that's the point. So I think it's from that angle that I say no. When it comes to religious associations, yes, we all have the freedom to associate, but then again, we must not be discriminated against or for just because of the way we worship. Yeah, because we the Christians, we the Jews, we the Muslims will have felt hard done if only the SDA people were giving it, especially the Salvation Army people, because they will also be in the army for the Lord, right? They will be fighting.
All right, the new Trust newspaper, the story is here. Samira Baumia electrifies Ejira as NPP vows to unseat NDC and P. And STEM Novation begins today, Monday. And encourage your members to go and vote on Saturday. I read that earlier. Galam say it could take 300 years to restore quality. By that time, we have become, if the world has not come to an end, we become a manure.
But I think the scientists must make up their mind already. Is it 15? Is it 30? Is it 300? You spoke to the toxicologist,
Yes.
and he had mentioned that at least 15 years, right?
No. He didn't give a figure. So that's what the 15 years you're referring to is someone who spoke on, I think, City.
Okay.
And the 300 is someone who spoke on Joy.
So they should make up their mind already.
No, but this is in reference to soil quality.
Ah,
the 15
okay.
years
Not the
was in
water.
relation to the water.
Okay,
Yes.
I get you.
So
So
that's
the
about it.
water will be cleaner earlier than the soil relative to the nutrients. So that's good. We're learning.
So,
Yeah.
EC urged to pay temporal officers promptly to attract more experienced and committed officers ahead of December 7. So that's it for what the papers are reporting today. Usually on Mondays, the papers are a lot because all the the mushroom ones, everybody comes around on Monday.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's quite plenty this morning. But before you guys joined me, I was talking about this East Legon incident, for instance, the accident, and that how heartbreaking it is that you are on the road minding your business and doing what is right.
Yeah.
And through no fault of yours, someone's reckless driving ends up taking your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just points to how unfair life can be, because I really cannot wrap my mind around it. When you see the footage, and you see the speed at which the individual in question was going, you would wonder. I mean, how it cannot be a mistake.
Yeah.
Especially when this person involved had posted a video of himself, going at that top speed.
Yeah.
It's not a Formula One race.
Yeah.
And, I think it should be another wake-up call to road users that you are not the only person on the road.
On the road.
You ought to be responsible, because people cannot lose their lives through your recklessness.
Yeah.
And so please, whenever you're on the road, be mindful. Be mindful. It doesn't make sense that it really hurts me. It really does hurt me.
I saw the video, and to say I was heartbroken will be an understatement, right? And the video was as graphic as they come, right? Charged bodies. And you could hear the instructions from the fire personnel that hold the head. As for the leg, and these are human beings that have been described in those words. And to say that this is a result of somebody's recklessness, right? And you see, it's not a highway. It's not a highway. It's not like you are from Accra going to Kumasi and then, like the 6 people. Yeah, of course. It's expected. As unfortunate as it is. You get the point.
You will not be entirely surprised because of the speed on that stretch.
Yeah.
But this one, 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, how do you go at that speed? Because if from the video, it's a split second. Like,
oh, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And there was a car that turned right before, and the Acura was waiting its turn.
Exactly.
If it had been that the two of them were in the same lane, they were in the,
both of them. There would have been much more than we're seeing.
Look, that's why sometimes we all pray that justice is delivered swiftly, not at the expense of justice, though.
Yeah.
I mean, when people fall or accused of breaking the law and they are taken to court, the court pronounce on such cases swiftly. My whole point is that just this year, there was an incident of Lewin in Kumasi. Similar reports that it's not an area that you are supposed to speed. He ended up speeding and another life, was lost. People were injured. Funny face this year, same thing. That's why we understand that he was under the influence. That is a report
of something.
You get it. And I'm saying all these issues are in court already. A definite pronouncement hasn't been given. So you get it. I'm just saying that if a lot of people are punished and these things go to court and there is that definite pronouncement, I'm sure it will serve as deterrent, because some people feel that once they have a vehicle that can speed, they can test it anywhere they are, irrespective of where they find themselves. And it's just like you said, you are minding your own business. I mean, you can take all the safety measures, but if another person decides to be reckless, why should I be the one paying for it?
And to think that the individual in question, further details have emerged as to who the person is. This person is underage and happens to be the son of a man of God. And videos have emerged of the man of God talking about how in Ghana he can drive without a license, and the police can't do anything about him. And they actually, when they see him, they greet him general, boss. And you dare not stop him, because if you stop him, he will call your boss. When people reach levels of power, we do not expect them to be breaking the law anyhow. They need to respect the laws, because it cannot always continue or be the case that when people attain a certain level of recognition or wealth, all of a sudden they're above the law. Sometimes you notice, even and the police should take note of this. When you are in a Land Cruiser, for instance, the police would barely, harass you. They'll call you chief boss. But if you find yourself in a Vitz, they assume you are probably an Uber driver, and they would not hesitate to harass you. You understand? And so, but you do not know whether the person with the biggest Land Cruiser or the most, fancy vehicle could be up to something. Apply the law fairly. When you are being lawless, we do not expect you to use it to boast and say that, for me, I can drive without a license and the police cannot stop me. How embarrassing. Because he's afraid to do that in the U.S. He says in the U.S. they will worry him. You dare not do that. But here you are bragging that over here nobody can call you to order, and you can actually drive without a license. Who does that? And so if you hear utterances like these, would you be surprised by the conduct of the child? Would you be surprised? Because clearly lawlessness is encouraged in the household. You may think that the person you are raising the child alone for yourself. But that's not the case. In the end, the problem has gone into somebody else's home. And the more I read about it, the more I get hurt, because one of the girls, for instance, is just 12 years old. She had just gotten her Canadian citizenship. She was about leaving the country. Bright child. They say she schools somewhere right around where the incident happened. And she's always top of the class. And someone's bright future like this, you have had her life snuffed out of her. It's really heartbreaking. And I do sincerely hope that the law will take its course. Because this is... And, people, when things happen, immediately people will dig. People who know him, for instance, talk about how he was in Roman Ridge and he was expelled for assaulting somebody and had to move to another school. And some of these things, you encourage them or you don't manage them properly, and someone else's child or family has to bear the consequence. Once again, may the law take its course. And I really apologize that I have to be ranting about this particular issue on and on and on, because it's heartbreaking.
That to help you, the issue is, so has any state authority issued any statement whatsoever about the incident?
There's been no word.
No Ghana Police Service statement about the incident.
National
So
Fire
all
Service.
that we have, National Fire Service, at least the video I have, I'm sure they've also started something like Fire TV, the police TV, right? So they were actually streaming live, therefore too.
And even in that in itself is problematic.
Yeah.
That in itself is problematic.
Yeah.
I know that maybe it's in the heat of the moment, but perhaps you just do a few seconds and then forever, this thing is there.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. So I think the police must speak.
So basically that's about it in relation to this issue. That'll be it for the newspaper review segment. We'll go for a break. When we return, we'll have a conversation with our legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa, to give us some details with regard to what has been happening in the courts and what is expected to happen in the courts.